I think we're starting to see more tablet applications appear than ever before. More people that are demonstrating in a kiosk format, more that are demonstrating in just alternate uses, from how to communicate to the screen through the tablet to how to use the tablet as a kiosk, a more fluent type of interaction with the user that we've ever seen before. So just a lot more reinvention and really demonstrating what the tablet means to the overall digital ecosystem in an environment. The best tip that I can give is think about the content. Think about the content and think about the user. Don't just assume the technology is going to deliver what you want. You really have to think about what do you want the user to gain from the technology? What do you want the user experience to be? And I think that starts with really a cohesive content strategy. If you figure out what they're expecting, how to deliver that to them, then start looking at the technology. So go at it with a really comprehensive content strategy, a real good plan of action before you start bringing technology into the environment. So that's the best tip. Plan lead with content. It's such a tough challenge because you're dealing with multiple channels, you're dealing with multiple formats of content, and you're dealing with how do you divvy up those assets amongst the channels. And I think it really kind of starts with looking at what do you want the experience to be on each particular channel, and then trying to find a middle ground on how they complement one another. Don't try to overlap and don't try to create these silo experiences. Try to create so that they're in parallel with one another, or that they at least allow you to dive further into the experience. So it might start on digital signage and it'll continue into a tablet experience. So it's not overlapping, they're not competing for attention. Each is delivering a bit of information that's relevant. So you do have a more in-depth experience, through one channel or the other. But it does become, I think, a challenge in developing the creative for it, so that it is compelling. It is. Some people, I think, feel the need to put a lot of information in front of a person, and I think the reality is that engagement only lasts for a relatively short time. Obviously depending upon where the screen is at, and keep that in mind because being simple is also enough to really get that message across. So don't try to overload the screen. Don't try to put too much information. Look at sort of an alternate way of designing it, from larger fonts, more bold colors, things that really grasp the attention in a short amount of time. So it's being more conscious of visually telling that story for the message. To come up with a formula is so difficult because every screen is always in a different position, and every screen always has a different audience for it. So it kind of falls back, know who you're communicating to, or at least have a general idea on who that is. Do people watching, do a bit of a study as who's there. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, just watch for an hour and you really understand at least who's walking through there. But there's no real formula. I think anyone that feels like they've come up with a formula, maybe it's a good tactic for them, but truthfully, I've never found a consistency. We just treat every project and every piece of content different. I think that's how you should approach it. It's never the same. I think the biggest challenge is that the industry has grown so much over 10 years that there are so many different offerings now that it's complicated to figure out which one suits your needs. There's a lot of overlap between platforms, between screens, between fixtures and displays, and I feel like you tend to spend a lot more hours than what you want to, that you intended to spend in figuring out what software makes sense for you. And the reality is you'll find two software applications and spend hours looking at both and realize they both do the same, they're just skinned a little bit differently. So I think that the biggest challenge is that, trying to find that comfort level with the application that you're going to invest in, making sure that the interface is what you intend it to be, that it's ease of use, and that it gets you to deliver what you intended it to do. So I think the biggest challenge is we've gotten so big. I think the biggest thing I say is that, again, I think coming here, I think what's changed for us is that, we're spending more time each year here. It used to be, I know it's a 2-day show, we can get everything we wanted done in one day. Then it was fine. But now you really need to spend the full day because just sticking in the front of the venue is just not enough anymore. It's like you got to go to the back because there's always a hidden gem back there that you just haven't seen. So, I think come to the show and intend to spend 2 days And I think also go to the education tracks. And I know something that over the years had been somewhat overlooked, because what value am I going to get from that? And the truth is, there's a lot of value. There's a lot of good people that are they're telling their stories, and there's a lot of good people that are willing to share that information. That makes it easier, I think, for you to navigate this space. So I think, you know, invest the time wisely when you come to here. Spend the 2 days, go to the sessions, really kind of take in everything that is offered. We were fortunate last year to win a project with Santander to do a 700 location digital merchandising program that we deployed in 8 weeks, and it's been a huge boost for us. But I think a lot of the success comes really from being part of this environment. We've been coming to DSE. I've been coming to DSE for God 9 years now. I remember showing up when we weren't what we are now, and it just it's a comfortable environment to meet people, to network, to learn, to understand how this industry works, to understand what we can add to it. And I think all that, and the patience and just the persistence, I think kind of led to the success of getting us to be able to do this project. So we owe a lot to DSE. We owe a lot to this environment for really helping us mature and helping us really understand how to grow our business and be able to do a project such as that, which was a challenge, but made us stronger. So very exciting. I'm hosting 2 sessions tomorrow. Active participant in DSF since its inception. Actually, I've been a member with that, and continue to try to spread the word of that wherever I go and speak, and every activity and everything that I do. I feel like part kind of wearing the ambassador badge, for DSE, and so yeah, we try to be active in all parts, and it's more of just be active because we believe in the industry and what it can do. So it's something we generally passion and believe in. It's cool. It's fun. It's it's interesting to see your picture on a magazine, but it's humbling. I think it shows that there's really an opportunity for, if you work hard in this industry, rewards like this do happen. So it's cool. It's definitely a testament.